Hello, my name's Oliver Mully, and this is my take home sport marketing assignment. So, the first question, we'll hop straight into it. In the text, a popular human theory of human motivation, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is based on a set classification of needs using the social needs level. Describe why a mid level company executive would choose to play in a weekend golf charity sponsored by his company. I think it's really important actually for executives to go out and show face. While also they're strengthening relationships with coworkers or higher up management. They're also strengthening personal connections, so like networking event kind of. I think it's also really good for team bonding. A lot of people want to see the executives in the company be treated just like everyone else, and it's a good way to for everyone to be together. They can talk business, but they're also having fun, so it's not a really intrusive environment. The next question in the text, there are five different listed differences between sports spectators and participants. List two of these five and discuss. So my first one is physical involvement. Obviously, watching sport, although some people might be jumping around in the crowd and stuff, there isn't that physical aspect to it. Whereas if you're playing soccer against your friends or if you're a competitive team, you're playing 90 minutes of straight battling on the field. Participants in physical activity are also a lot stronger, I think, while spectators aren't being very active. Even though they might outside, they're still not doing it while watching the sport. Secondly, motivation. I think participants may be motivated by fitness, skill improvement, or like even competition. I know a lot of people really want to win, so there's that part when you're playing sports, whereas spectators, although they do want their team to win, that's more of an entertainment aspect and a social aspect. Um, the third question, sport is a source of diversion or physical activity engaged in for pleasure. Using different examples, show how sports differ from movies, plays, theaters, opera, concerts. So I think the main one that a lot of people are going to say is that sport is just unscripted. So when you watch a movie or a show, you know what you're getting. Whereas if you're watching a sporting final, it could go either way. There's always ups and downs. That's why everyone loves sport. And that's why I think a lot of people in the class chose this course. There's also the emotional attachment. A lot of people really, really love their sports team. And when they don't win, it's rough. I know as a TFC fan myself, we've been in some low stages where it's really hurt, but then winning, nothing beats that. Lastly, seasonal competition. So there's different standings, playoffs, championships, just makes it that even more better. Whereas movies and concerts is just one event and then it's done. You also know what you're expecting the whole time. Whereas a big team can knock out a smaller team in a big tournament, and I mean that's why we all love sport. The fourth question: what is SWOT analysis? Describe its components, characteristics, in these elements, and then conduct a SWOT analysis for the Toronto Blue Jays as they embark on the 2026 after their great 2025 season. So SWOT, obviously, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So when we conduct a SWOT analysis for the Toronto Blue Jays, I think the strengths, the main ones, are motivation. Everyone's going to be fired up for a new season, especially after last year. Losing in the finals does suck, but for a lot of teams, it gives them the extra motivation to really kick on that year. I think the fan base is going to be even more loyal this year, especially they want to see us back at the big stages, so everyone's going to be really behind the team. Also, I did a project for one of my other classes, so the strong brand recognition in Canada. So it wasn't just Torontonians supporting the Blue Jays, it was all of Canada. So when you have that backing, it's unbelievable for a team and momentum. So weaknesses, I think especially that they did so well last year, ticket prices are going to be really expensive. I think they upped the season ticket prices, so it's going to be harder to get tickets for the casual fan, more expensive, and they even might be priced out like some of the big games last year. Also, inconsistency with attendance in the crowd. It's not like soccer or football where they play once a week. These guys are playing every single day, right? So it's hard to fill out a whole stadium of 50 plus thousand every single day, especially when they have mid-week games, especially during the day as well. People can't take time off work. It's really hard. Opportunities are next. So I think we saw a lot of social media promotion, especially when they made the playoffs. I think they can keep kicking on with that. A lot of people really got in touch with baseball, even who aren't big fans. So I think keep pushing the social media aspect, and it's a really big chance. Expanding youth programs as well. I know baseball is getting bigger and bigger. So are many other sports. So if you could host maybe like meet and greets with players or youth programs, that could interest a lot more people into the sport. Threats. So the Toronto Blue Jays were pretty much the only good Toronto team last year. So I think if other Toronto teams start doing well, people might overlook the Jays, TFC, Raptors, even the Argonauts. I think if the Raptors, especially if they make it far, people are just gonna focus on that over the Toronto Blue Jays, which could cause less demand for tickets or like watching online. Um, Poor performance is a big one, really big one, especially in Toronto. We see a dip of attendance and fans, and then once the team starts doing bad, the drop off is huge. This happened with TFC when they won the MLS Cup. They were selling 30,000 seats. Everyone was loving it. Social media posts everywhere. Then as they slowly declined, we saw less of attendance, less social media presence, and I don't think it's good for the team. So question number 5 now. Describe how the branding process would be used for a newly formed team in the NBA. So the branding process will include market research. So you got to understand the city, the fans. Like I said, Toronto teams really hop on and bandwagon their team. So if you're doing well, you're going to get a lot more fans. Secondly, creating team logo, colors. I think for the Blue Jays, they're blue. TFC's red. So it is different. So it's finding like a nice mix. And also a mascot. I know all the teams have mascots. All the fans, all the kids love them. So yeah, it is good. Developing social media. I think social media now is the biggest thing for influencing sports fans. When I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling through and it's all sports stuff. So it really puts that into my head. Lastly, building emotional connections with fans. I think is a really big one. If you have emotionally into question number 6 now, pink it and shrink it used as a common way for sports teams to cater to women. Describe how sport has moved beyond this concept and how it now caters better to the female market. Also describe where teams can improve. So I think sport over the years has significantly improved in catering to women, and I don't think people should even talk about it anymore, as it should just be a common thing, right? You're catering to the men and the women, not just the men, not mostly men. It's you're catering to both. Designing women-specific merchandise, I think, is a big one. They're selling a lot more women's t-shirts, whether it's Toronto Raptors, Maple Leafs, TFC. Women are like wearing the jerseys, and they got women's jerseys as well, which is pretty cool. Increasing visibility of women's leagues also is a massive one, right? So I know the new Canadian Women's Soccer League started. I've been to a few games myself, and it's very good to see. They got good numbers in the crowd. They must be hopefully making money with that, and I hope to see it keep growing in the future. Creating safer, more inclusive stadium experiences for women is also a big one. I know a lot of women did feel safe back in the day, like at these games. So I think with this, it's a lot better now. And including women in leadership roles. I know a lot of women really high up in the MLSE chain, which it's just great to see. Now to go on the ways they can improve. So I think increasing media coverage of women's sports is a big one. We want to see more clips of the Women's Soccer League goals, even the Women's NBA. I want to see it almost on par with the NBA. I think that would be really, really good for everyone to see. Expanding merchandise variety, like I said, like they have women's stuff, but I think they should make even more, maybe even have a separate shop of only women's stuff would be pretty cool. Continuing to promote diversity in management is my key point, I think. We just want to keep pushing it. It shouldn't even be a thing. It should be if the person's qualified for the job, they should have it, right? So we want to see more women higher up in the thing, and not, if they're better than men at a job, the woman should have it all day of the week. Question number 7 now. List and describe each of the bases for segmentation and provide a contemporary example for each. So starting with demographic, age, gender, income. We got geographic, location, psychographic, lifestyle, and like values. Behavioral is, say, like loyalty to specific sports teams. And yeah, that is. Segmentation is more efficient than mass marketing because it targets specific groups. And I think having all these bases, so like for example, for demographic, you got student discounts. I think pushing students to come to games is really big can provide a lot of things, and if they like it, they're gonna keep coming even after they're a student. For geographic, I know people want to market different to the Canadian audience rather than to the American audience. This is largely seen, especially with all the government stuff going on now. Don't even want to get into it, but you got to cater to different markets. Psychographics is my point was premium VIP seating for luxury focused fans, right? So if people with money want good seats, they let them have it, right? They're paying the high dollar. It's not maybe the same experience as a normal fan, but if they want VIP, then yeah, that's for them. And lastly, behavioral. So I think season ticket holder. Personally, I'm a TFC season ticket holder, so I get like a scarf in the mail and like a few other things. I think this is just drags them back in. I think it's good, right? So it's the off season. I get a scarf. I'm now fully invested back in the team, ready for the season to kick off. It's pretty exciting. Question number 8 now. Explain how diversion from everyday life impacts fan attendance and how this factor is currently being used by the Toronto Raptors to attract fans. The Toronto Raptors attract fans multiple different themes. So actually speaking about it, hosting theme nights is a big one. I know they do jersey giveaways and other memorabilia, which is really cool. So people are like, if I'm missing this game, I'm not going to get a collector's item, so I got to go. And this pushes more people into the attendance. Promoting games as full entertainment experiences. So I think a lot of people see sport as, if I'm going to a basketball game, I'm just going to watch the basketball game. But when they get there, there's a whole show pretty much. They got cheerleaders, people singing, dancing. So it's more of a all-round form of entertainment. Enhancing mid-game music and halftime performance is also a big one. Kind of jumps on my last point. I went to a Raptors game with my family from England. They did not expect to see all the spectacles at halftime with everyone dancing, the light shows, everything happening. It's pretty cool. And they don't have that in other countries, so it's cool to let people have that experience. And lastly, like I mentioned before, social media is the main key in this game. Creating social media hype around game day, it brings so many more fans in. People see it online, they're now intrigued, they want to go watch it. So yeah, it's really good. So lastly, the 2 questions, what do I like and what do I not like about this class so far? So personally, I very enjoyed this class. Every class, I'm intrigued and learning new things. For me, my favorite was the MR process. I really like this because it gave me a clear, like, step-by-step system for making decisions. And hopefully in my future pro career in sport, I use this and I'm not just guessing, making assumptions. It's about real data. It's about fans coming to games, ticket prices, if people can afford them or not, promotions, you want to bring more entertainment in, more people. And yeah, I think that's very important. My least favorite part so far has been just going over the Maslow hierarchy of needs. It's not even anyone's fault. It's just I've heard it so much before that it's already resonated in my head. So I just want to learn more stuff. But yeah, thank you for listening. Have a good one.